Hello everybody, welcome to the Web Wizard channel. Today we are going to be looking at how to set up a WordPress blog. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We were not going to be actually using WordPress's offer for this because honestly it's kind of expensive. And they charge you, it seems like, for a lot of different plugins and additions and themes and various other things. You don't need all that. The best and easiest way to get started with WordPress today is to head on over to hostgator.com. If you do not already have cPanel web hosting, if you do have cPanel web hosting, you can jump forward into the forward part of this video. I'll timestamp the actual installation of WordPress. But to kick things off, I'm going to assume that you do not have a web server, which you will need. And I'm also going to assume that you want to get one. So, assuming those two things, this is what you'll need to do. Head on over to hostgator.com. Currently, their homepage looks something like this. They have good, cheap hosting, good, cheap cPanel hosting. You really can't get much better. There's a lot that are similar, but I recommend HostGator. It's pretty good. I've used them a lot. Baby plan should probably be all that you need. Hatchling plan might be fine too. Whatever, they're similar in price. So this is their month. This is their offer per month, assuming that you get a 3-year contract, right? So that's a pretty long contract. I recommend the 12-month contract. That's not too bad, right? If you go any shorter than that, suddenly the price bumps up to $11.95 a month. That's not so good anymore, right? But if you go for a 12-month contract, man, that's only like, what, $40 for your year of web hosting? And yeah, that'll get you all you need. All right, so go ahead and fill out your information. There will be, let's see here, there will be a special place to punch in a coupon code. I'm going to give you a special coupon code. I'll put that somewhere on the screen. This will give you a discount. It'll also accredit me with some money, because when I refer customers to this website, they'll send me some money, and I like the money. Okay, so you don't have to punch in the code if you don't want to, but if you do, it'll save you some money, and it'll give me some money. So everybody will be happy. Anyway, that's up to you. Go ahead and fill out all of this gobbledygook, and I'm going to do that too and resume this video once I've done it. We'll pick it up where we next need to go. Alright, you might be wondering about a few things. Do you need any of this? Also, gobbledygook. No, you don't need that. No, you don't need that either. I mean, you could potentially get that, but you know, you don't necessarily need it. Here's the thing. How many websites do you want to set up? If you want to set up one website, this is where we're headed with this. If you want to set up multiple websites, let me show you a thing. There is a hosting style called reseller hosting. Now you don't actually have to resell the hosting. You can just use it to create an unlimited number of websites for yourself. So if you want to do multiple websites, you're probably going to want to grab a reseller plan. That just basically means you've got the option to create additional accounts, additional domains within your thing. And I'll probably do a video about how to do that later on. But let's assume for now that you only want to do one website. I just wanted you to know that if you're planning to do more than one, that would probably be the better option for you, is the reseller plan. But for only one website, let's say you especially don't need this if you're doing a reseller website, because you can enable backup automation automatically, yada yada yada. So I'm not going to bother with that. You may or may not want this. It's actually probably not a bad idea, you know, considering the shared hosting. If anything goes wrong, anything gets hacked, anything, you know, yada yada yada, it's probably not a bad idea. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to note that. Let's carry on. Oh, and right, I almost forgot this part. Enter your domain name. Do you have a domain name registered yet with something like GoDaddy or another domain name registrar? If you do, you just go to the I already own a domain name section. If you don't, you can head on over to register a domain name with HostGator. It's probably the easiest way to go. I like to keep everything on GoDaddy, but this is fine. This is fine, especially if you're only doing one website. This is fine. So punch in your domain name. I believe they charge about $10 to $20, $10 to $15 a year for domain name registration. Just be aware of that. If you already own your domain name, you're paying that to somewhere else, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I've just gone ahead and set up my account. It takes a few seconds after you have submitted your payment for the web account website to become active. Pause the video here and I'll wait for this. From there, you will probably see that your hosting package is presently being set up, and there's not a lot you can do with it for, I'm not actually sure how long. Let's see, we'll wait and see how long this takes. It's going to take a few minutes at least, maybe a little longer, we'll see. Alright, that only took about a minute. That's not too bad. Alright, so once your account is set up, you can head on over to the hosting section. From here you will see a link called cPanel. This is where the magic happens. Click it. Let's head on over to cPanel. Okay, this is going to be super duper easy. From cPanel you will scroll down and look for WordPress Manager. Yeah, that's the one. Look for this one. Click on WordPress Manager, and from here you're going to find an install button. Go ahead and click install. There's a few things you'll want to configure. You can always change these later, so it's not too important. Your website title, I'm going to call this Skookum. No, I'm going to call this, I can't spell Skookum. I'm going to call this fancy tutorial for WordPress on YouTube. Yeah, it's good. I think it's catchy. Okay. Site description, again, we can write a little description here if you want. You can leave this for later. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't think you need to toggle these. Enable multi-site option. Probably don't want to do that. Probably don't want to do that. It's probably fine. Well, it's kind of more advanced features you won't really need. You can punch in a username and password. I'm going to choose a very easy to remember password. There we go. Super easy. No, I don't recommend an easy password. Choose a better password than me. Let's see here. It is probably not needed. None of this is probably really needed. A theme, you can always select all of this later. Let's see, advanced options. Nah, you probably don't need to worry about any of that. That's all fine. And a theme, you can choose a theme for now, but again, we can do all this later too. So I'll just select a default theme. Sure, that's fine. Right. And if you want to save your email, if you want to get the installation information recorded to your email and sent like the installation URL and stuff like that, you can punch that in here. If you don't care, you can just remember it yourself and write it down somewhere. Go ahead and click install. This may take 3 to 4 minutes. Please do not leave the page that you're looking at until the progress bar reaches 100%. That comes straight from the horse's mouth. I'll pause the video here and we can pick it up in a minute. Okay, so this is your admin panel URL. This is a good one to remember. Oh, looks like my name. Oh, here's a thing. If you are using an existing domain name that is registered somewhere else, you'll need to do one additional step. And it's good we ran into this encounter because it's possible that some of you may be using an existing domain name. If you're not using an existing domain name and you registered with HostGator, this should probably already work. But if not, let's head on over to your domain name control panel. I am using a GoDaddy. If you're not using GoDaddy, you'll have to look for whatever is the similar equivalent. But what you're looking for is Manage DNS. Alright, so from Manage DNS, there will be a few things you want to change. Actually, just 2 things. These are your name servers. You're looking for your name servers. When you find them, you can just go ahead and click on Change, and you'll be given the option to type in some new name servers. Actually, you'll just want to go to enter your own name servers if you're using GoDaddy. If you're using something else, you're just looking for somewhere to type in the name servers, generally speaking. But if you are looking for your name, so here's what you need to do. Now you need to head on back to the HostGator control panel, click on Hosting, and what we're going to be looking at is the Manage button. Click that. And from here, what we're looking for is where is the thing that we're looking for? Here we go, settings. Settings are what we're looking for, and what we're looking for under settings are the two name servers. So HostGator will tell you what your name servers are. You can just go ahead and punch in name server 1 and name server 2. Again, you won't have to do this if you registered the domain name with HostGator. It'll just automatically work, but if you didn't, you will have to do this. Go ahead and click save, and now here's the thing. This can take anywhere from a few seconds, honestly, to a couple minutes, to 15 minutes, to an hour. Sometimes it can even take multiple hours. Usually it's pretty fast these days. Back in the day, it used to take even as long as a day or so for name servers to update. So if this doesn't work for you right away, that's okay. You've done it right, probably. You can come back later and check it out. I'm going to see if that worked for me. It looks like, no, not yet. It looks like it has not yet worked because I'm seeing the catch page here at GoDaddy. So I'm going to have to wait a little while for the name servers to resolve, it is called, and I'll check back with you when that happens. We're back. Okay, the name servers have resolved. So here's how we log into your WordPress control panel. Right there, click it, log in. You will be taken automatically to your WordPress login area. Now you can re-access this at any time by visiting your website /wp-admin. You might want to make a bookmark to this. You'll be visiting this admin panel very often. Let's take a look around. If you are new to WordPress, one thing you'll want to probably note is that you can quickly jump to your website from this little corner area up here. Click there, click visit website. Actually, you might want to open that in a new tab. And then there's your website right there. That doesn't look too good right now. It's okay though, because this template has not, well, it doesn't have anything going on for it right now. Speaking of templates, if you head on over to the Appearances section, you can click on Themes, and from the Themes area, you will have a selection of different themes you can choose from. Kitten's running around. I didn't realize he was in the room with me. Anyway, let's see here. Let's choose one. Let's choose something nice and simple. But here's the other thing too. Let's say none of these initial themes really tickle your fancy. This is not a bad one to get started with here. This is kind of the default WordPress theme. It's actually quite a simple there. You click activate, and that should activate it. You can refresh your page, and you should have the new theme ready. Now, one of the things I'm noticing already is my headline is a little bit too big. But that's okay. Actually, I'm getting a little bit of weirdness here too in the CSS style sheet by the looks of it. I think that might just be on account of the browser that I'm in. Maybe I'm gonna fire that. Oh, that's okay. That's a bit of weirdness there. Okay, that's fine. We'll fix that. Let me just load up a new theme here. Okay, there was a bit of an issue with my installation. What I actually ended up having to do was I just went back to my HostGator control panel, and I uninstalled my WordPress, and then I just quickly reinstalled it again in exactly the same way that you saw. So if you have a weird issue with your with the layout of your blog, of your WordPress page, if it looks kind of weird, try just uninstalling it and then installing it again. That worked for me. Anyway, so back to themes. Hopefully that didn't happen for you, but just in case it did, that's how you fix it. So back to themes. You will initially see a small selection of themes that are available. This is not even close to how many themes you can possibly add, or let's browse through and discover for your WordPress blog. Go ahead and click the little Add New Themes Plus button, and what you will see here are basically oodles and oodles upon oodles of WordPress themes. Most of them are free. Some of them are paid, but many are free. So you can scroll around until you find something that catches your fancy. When you see something that you like, just go ahead and click the install button as such. It will take a moment to download and install, usually not very long, and then when it is done, you can just simply click the activate button. This will again take a moment or two to process, and it will automatically activate that theme. If you go back to your website, you can refresh your page and you can see that your new theme is all set up and looking beautiful, ready to go. and yeah, you can just kind of browse around until you find a base theme that you kind of like. Now, I did find a really nice simple theme that I kind of liked. It was this one right here. 2015, just nice, clean, simple, plain. It's my style, right? So we got just nice, clean, easy to read. That's what I like. But you know, choose whatever you like. Okay, so now you have got your theme. What do you want to do? Let's maybe do your first post. How does that work? Pretty easy. So up here you have your posts. These are basically your blog entries. There's a few different things we'll talk about, but let's start with just creating your first post. I'm assuming that you're new to WordPress, and so this is, you know, basic to somebody who's using WordPress at all before, but if you haven't used WordPress, then this is probably the stuff you need to know. Right now you will see there's initially the old Hello World post that comes just by default with your WordPress installation. If you look at your website, you can see right there is the Hello World post. You can click on it. You can open it up, you can read it, etc., etc., but you probably don't want to. You probably just want to go ahead and delete that. Bulk actions, move to trash. Apply. But actually another quick way to delete it is just simply hover over and click on the trash button. And now you have no posts on your website, on your WordPress blog. You can see there's nothing here. You can go ahead and just add a new post like this. There are some helpful instructions for how to do formatting and various other different things. Nothing you really aren't going to be able to figure out probably on your own. But let's make our own post. Instead of Hello World, we're going to go Hi World. That's very different. Quite a lot more important as far as information that one might find on a blog goes. So this is an example. Alright, so there is what you need to do in order to create a blog post. We're going to talk about a little bit more in just a second, but once you're done, you just click Publish, Publish, and you can go ahead and refresh your page, and you can see your new post should appear there immediately. Hello World, Hi World, here we are. Click to open, it's taking its time, that's okay. Here's another thing that you're probably also going to want to do. You're probably going to want to add an image to your post. So if you take a look at your main website, you can see right now it's it says Hi World. It says this is an example post. This is one of your posts right here. Let's make one more actually. We'll make one more just so you can get a better feel for the blog roll sort of layout, right? So we're going to add one more just to give you an example. Let's call this one another post. Let's keep it simple. Alright, so I'm going to publish that. Now we look back to our blog roll, and you can see we have another post right there. They are organized by date. The most recent is at the top. You can change the sort order of this if you wish, but that's generally a pretty good way to do it. Keep the new stuff at the top. Okay, so now let's say you want to add a featured image to your blog post. Here is how to do it. You just click somewhere on the screen so that the thing is there we go. Oh, here we go. I was stuck in the block format there. I want to go back to where it says post right up here. Now, search for a featured image and set your featured image. You can upload an image from your computer here, or if you're lazy like me, you can just look in your existing media library and select an image from there. Now, I need to adjust my screen because I can't see behind my... Well, here it is. Set featured image. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that. Probably not. Yeah, let me just make that a little smaller so you can actually see what I'm clicking on. All we're clicking on here is the Set Featured Image button. Click. Okay, so that's going to take just a second to set itself. You can go ahead and click Update. And from here, we shall refresh our page again, and you'll see that the featured image is the image that appears as your blog post's main image. So as you're scrolling down through all your blog posts, let's add another one just for fun, just so I can give you a better feel for what we're up to here. All right, so I'm going to set the featured image for hello world. No, I am not, because I deleted that one. Let me just refresh the page. We want to edit hi world. Hi world's the one we want to do. So I'll set a featured image for this, and I will once again just click set featured image, which is behind my little webcam. Oh wait, can I? Oh, I can move that. Oh, that's great. Okay, set a featured image. Definitely professional operation we got going on here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and click update there. And now if I go ahead and refresh my page again, you shall see that there's our new one. It's not a great image. It's not super interesting. But it is an image, and that's what counts. If we click through to this blog post, you can see that you can actually read the blog post. Users can potentially leave comments if they want to. You can disable this feature to leave comments if you like. We can talk about that in a minute, but for now let's just leave that alone. Another thing that you're probably going to be interested in is adding additional photos to your post. You want to create photos, you want to create text, you want to do all these different things, and of course here's all your formatting, right? Here's bold, here's italic, here's other things too. Here's how you create a link. That's probably an important one to know. Let's say, for example, you want to search Google for something. That's a really bad example. But select the text that you want to turn into a link, just like so, and then all you need to do is type in your link. google.com. Okay, click like that. Now you've got a link to Google. But we were going to talk about how to add an image. So here's how to add an image. The way to add an image is accomplished in such a way. It is up here through the little toggle block inserter, whatever it's called, I'm not sure. You're going to probably want to click where you want the image to go. Actually, here's another way to do it too. You can also just click Add Block. That's also a good way to do it. And select an image, and then you can go ahead and once again choose an image from your computer, or you can just be lazy like me and choose an image right from the existing library of 2 images that I have available here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now you can put as many images into a blog post as you want. If you want to move them around, that's easy too. Let's say I wanted to move this one below the title and above the first line. Yeah, the best way to do that is just Control X, cut it out, and place your cursor where you want the image to go and paste it right back in. Can you? No, you can't. Yes, there we go. That's better. I must have clicked roughly in the wrong spot. There we go. Sometimes it can be helpful just to arrow around on your keyboard until you find exactly the spot that you want your image to be placed. And if you don't like where it went, or if there's extra spaces there that you don't like, that's okay. You can just delete those. You can just kind of delete them. Just like delete. Just kind of click in the right place and delete. Until you kind of get the layout in the way that you want it to be. You can also add a link to an image, very much in the same way that we did with text. You just click the image, click the little link button, and then you can put in an image. Now, I won't get into all the different text formatting and various other things. You can kind of explore around for that and discover some of the formatting features if that tickles your fancy. But I am going to go as far as how to create an image, how to put it in there, and yada yada yada. What is this? Hi world? Yeah. Now we can take a look at our post itself. Here it is right here, hi world, with our nice primary image right there, and the image that we put in there. If we click here, it'll take us right to Google, and we can go and do whatever Google things we want to do. It's great. Okay, let's see. What should we talk about next? Let's see. I'm going to head back to my admin panel. You can just click on the little W icon to get there. You might want to do something like navigation. Where is the navigation on this one? Does this one have a good navigation system? I'm not really seeing it. You know what we're going to do is we're going to change our theme to make this next part of the tutorial a little bit more obvious about what we're doing. Okay, so I'm just going to activate this theme right here. Refresh my page, And now up here you can see I have a link to one of the pages on my website. My posts and everything are all still there, as you can see. This one says Hi World. Actually, here we go. I'm actually not on my home page. There we go. Now I'm on my home page. So now I've got a different sort of layout, as you can see for my blog posts. They're kind of in a nice little square format. I've got a nice big header here. We can talk in a minute about how to change a header or a header graphic, assuming that that's the kind of design that you want. And then, of course, up here we have your main navigational links. These might be things like contact us, about us, you know, whatever else. Links to your YouTube channel, your Instagram, whatever the case may be. Let's get into the menu editing. To do that, you're going to want to head back into your admin panel, and you'll want to go to your menus right here. Hang on a sec. I got to do a kitten thing. Do you want to see my kitten? Oh, yeah. Here's my kitten. He's pretty cute. Hello, guy. His name is Yoda, because he kind of looks like Yoda with his big Yoda ears. Okay, we're going to let this kitten go. I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back, and we are in our menus section. You can go ahead and create a new menu. Let's call this one, we'll just call it header. It's going to go in our header, so let's just call it header. We can actually go ahead and toggle header menu in this section there. Now that can be changed later from the manage location section right up here in case you want to change where things appear. Actually, it might not automatically go in there. So yeah, you can go ahead and click manage locations. For your header menu that we just created, you can go ahead and select header, which is what we just gave the name of our menu to, gave our menu the name of, or something like that. Anyway, so now we have got our header menu. So that's what we're working on right up here. On the left-hand side, we have a variety of different options. Not that many. Actually, all we have right here are our available pages. And since right now, in our pages section over here, there's only one page available, then we only have one option to choose from. Now, keep in mind, pages differ from posts. Blog posts differ from pages. Pages are meant to be more of a fixed thing. This is sort of like your about us or your company motto or something. I don't know. Like a page is kind of like your contact us section or something like that. Like that's kind of what a page is used for, whereas a blog post is kind of like this ongoing feed of pages on a variety of different topics. So right now we have this one sample page right up here. The layout can often differ as well for your pages. They're not presented in sort of a blog format. They're often presented in a more singular style with varying design depending on your theme. Anyway, let's assume that we want in our header there to be a link to our sample page. We can just go ahead and click it, or we can click Add to Menu. Now you can see our sample page is in our menu there. Now we have a couple of posts that we may want to link directly in our header menu. If we wanted to do that, we can. We just go ahead and select those like that. Click Add to Menu. There is the option just to type in a manual link, such as, let's take this one, straight to Google again. Google, because Google's easy. Google's an easy example. All right, so there's Google. Punch that right in. If we want to put in links to our category, I believe this would be like a drop-down menu. We don't have categories at the moment, so we won't worry about that just yet. But once we have kind of punched in our selection of items, and by the way, if you want to shuffle around the sort order of these menu items, you certainly can. You just drag and drop. But once you're happy with that, just click Save Menu. And since we have designated, did I click that? Yes. And since we have designated this as our header menu, it will appear in our page header. There we go. Sample World, Hi World, and other posts, and Google. These all link to where they're supposed to link to. Hi World, for example, will link to our blog post, which is all about Hi World. Typically, you don't link blog posts in a header, but you can. Typically, you link kind of static pages in a header, but you can do whatever you want. It's whatever makes you happy. It's your WordPress blog. All right. Speaking of pages, whilst on the topic of pages, we have posts. And as you know, those appear kind of in our blog role, like so, right? But if you wanted to create a static page like About Us or Contact Us, you might not want it to appear in your regular blog feed. And that is also another good feature of pages. So when you want to add a page, it works very much exactly the same way as adding a blog post. Simply click Add New, type in your page name, type in your page image, yada yada yada. It's exactly the same as creating a blog post. So we won't talk about that here. But just know it's the same and it's a little different. It's just a little different, but it's also the same in many ways. All right, so you can create your pages like that. You can create your posts like that. And the next thing you might want to get into is actually maybe a little bit of customization of your theme. Let's say you chose this theme, for example, and you have this image which has nothing to do with your blog. Let's make some changes. Let's actually go into the Appearance section again, and you will find this handy-dandy little menu item called Customize. Click it. Okay, so this is what you will see. And you can do a lot of things kind of visually. WordPress has definitely improved their sort of front-end editing system for your themes and templates from compared to back in the day when I used to be a young web programmer. Just saying, that was a while ago anyway. So they help you. They help you quite a bit with these icons and various things. Oftentimes you can just click on a section you want or the little icon nearby the section you want. So this to me sort of looks like it's hovering over the background image, and if I click on it, it pulls up this little menu over here, and you got some simple things like show title on or off, right? So that takes the title off. Various other things, whether you want any buttons here or not, you can toggle those on or off. You can do a variety of things. Right here, for example, is the kind of formatting for the image and layout. So there's a bunch of different things. You can kind of click around and you can kind of see what you like and what works for you. Every theme is going to be a little different. So I'm not going to do a hard set rules on how to do this. I'm just going to give you an idea of what sorts of things you're going to be looking for as you do the customization of the particular theme that you chose. Over here, for example, if we click under Style, we can see that this is where the image is kept, and if we wanted to change our image to, oh, I don't know, let's do this one again. I think this is the best image we could possibly find, so let's do that one. There we go. Look at that. That could potentially be you typing on your WordPress blog in a very short time from now. Okay, so that's how to change, well, that's, a few things you can change around there. Let's see here. There are typically a variety of options. Let's see, show background overlay. That just kind of gives it a bit of a color or a darkening. In this case, the color I believe is set to black, but you can change that, for example, if you wanted to set it to red and overlay with a different color to sort of, I don't know, set the mood, as the case may be. Like I say, the best thing to do is toggle options on and off sometimes and just sort of click and see what things do in your particular theme. So that one kind of gave it a neat little effect there. Spacing has to do with, well, basically how much padding there is between items. So I kind of pull that down a bit and kind of shrink up my header. So that's an option that you might have, depending on what theme you're using. Kind of the same here. Never be too afraid to kind of adjust sliders and things. And when in doubt, just remember what number you started at, right? So it's 35 right here. So if I do something crazy, I'm like, oh no, now what did it used to be? Well, it was 35. Just type in 35 and get back to where it was. So that's a handy way to sort of be able to test stuff and then go back really easily. Most things have a number value. So yeah, like I say, there's lots of different things you can do. Fix versus scroll means you'll kind of scroll down without the header. And let's see, scroll does something else in a bit. I don't know. Anyway, well, that one takes the image out entirely and just kind of puts in a neat looking gradient. So lots of different heading styles you can kind of adjust around. We're not going to get into the advanced theme editing at the moment, but like I say, we're only looking at the header so far. If you want to go and edit some additional things, you just click back like that, And then you can actually look around and check out a whole bunch of the other different things that might be going on. For example, the logo can now be centered in the centered. And centered in the center. Wow, that sort of sounds right. We can center that to the right. I kind of like that in the center. I kind of dropped it down in a kind of a neat and flowy sort of way, so I kind of like that. Once again, padding is padding. Padding kind of gives you a little more space or a little less space, as the case may be. Do you want the header to stick on scroll? That means it will always be at the top no matter how much you scroll. That's the toggle for that, so now it kind of disappears as you scroll down. This can be good if you want to give your viewer more reading space, but this might be good if you want the viewer to always be able to see your header menu and have easy navigation. Typically, I would say this is probably better. Just give them more reading space. Users kind of like that. So yeah, anyway, so navigation settings, hero settings, well, what are these? I don't know. Different things. Like I say, toggle around, look around. All of these different options are yours to enjoy. Now we will have some settings specifically to your blog posts, and within the navigation area of your theme editor, you can actually go ahead and click on a page, like a blog post, and that will open up your blog post. And then, of course, you'll have some additional editing options for your blog post. Now, you don't need to edit every single page. When you make an edit to a section, like your blog posts is a section, it'll apply to every single post you do automatically. We're just adjusting the theme and the layout. Even though you can click on any page, it might kind of seem like you have to do every single page individually. No. What you do on one blog post applies to every blog post. So, just so you know. Yes, anyway, toggling some options here on your blog section. Whether you want to show the sidebar over here or not, you can actually option to potentially disable that. Yeah, like I say, the best thing to do is just kind of click around and see what things do. That one didn't seem to do anything, so I don't know. What did it even do? I don't know. Show thumbnail as a placeholder, and I don't know what that one does. Right? So, like I say, the different themes you download will kind of do different things depending on how they're configured. So, like I say, you just kind of click around until you find stuff that you like. Posts per row. Now this would have to do with how many posts appear on your blog row layout. Like right now, we can set that to 1 post per row, so there's only one every row. If we want those in sort of a grid, you might set that to 2, or if you want them to be a whole bunch all together, really small, you could set that to something like 4. Of course, we only have 2. So you can't really see the other ones, but just imagine there's 2 more right here, and that's how that would be. Now, let's see, what else? All right, our footer sections, just kind of down here. It doesn't look like we have too many options here, actually. So, oh, here we go, right, footer sections. Kind of the same idea. There's not too much to do with the footer because, well, it's just a line of text. So it's not too much to do down there. Site identity, let's see right up here. My WordPress blog. Now, I believe that this we would set actually in our settings section, which we will take a look at in just a minute. I would say that is probably the gist of the sorts of things that you would probably want to configure. Of course, there are probably some more configuration options you might want to tweak around with. But yeah, like I say, really quick and easy. Oftentimes you just click the edit button on the thing that you want to edit, and that will take you to the section, or you can kind of browse around on the left. Don't forget when you're done to click publish, or your changes will not save. Alright, so what were we just about to do? Something. What was it? Oh, here's a kind of interesting thing. Pretty important. The plugins section. Let's assume that you want your WordPress blog to do something specific or something special. Now, it comes with a number of plugins already installed. Typically, you should leave these alone, but you can sometimes delete them if you want to. That being said, let's assume that you want to find some sort of special function for your plugins. What you need to do is right up here at the top is click on Add New. Now, for example, you might want to set up Google AdSense in order to plug in Google AdSense to your blog and start making revenue with Google AdSense one day, eventually when you have enough blogs and enough traffic. A plugin would potentially be a way to accomplish this. So you typically search for AdSense or something like that, and you will be usually greeted with a variety of options. So you can kind of look around and check out the reviews, how many installations something has had, and you can kind of take a little bit of a look to see if a plugin is free, to see if it's paid. Some of them have trials, some of them have light versions, which are free, and expanded features which are paid. So it'll sort of depend on what you want. Let's pretend that I want this one, actually done by Google, so this one's probably going to be free. This one's actually not Google AdSense, I don't think. Oh, maybe it is. All-in-one stop. Yeah, just might be. Actually, that might be good. So all you need to do is click install. That will take a moment, and then you can go ahead and click activate. This will basically install the plugin on your WordPress blog. Looks like it's right here, just kind of waiting for me to get started. You can also scroll down and check out what plugins you have installed and actually remove them from this section as well if you decide you want to. Say you didn't want Google anymore, you can just click deactivate, and then you can actually even go a step further and click delete if you want to, or you can just leave it deactivated and activate it again later if you want. I'm going to activate that again. And usually the way to get to a plugin sort of meat and potatoes is the view details link right here. Now Google has put this little handy dandy clicky thing right there, but just in case the plugin you install doesn't have something handy and dandy like that, you can always get there by the view details. Nope, I was totally wrong. That's not how you get there. Where the heck is it now? Yeah, anyway, so getting late here, my brain's starting to get a little mushy. Usually when you install a plugin, it will create a menu item option for it. So you just kind of have to look around. And as you can see right up here is the Google Site Kit, and this is how you actually access the plugin and all of the features that come with it. So let's just going to do that. Go ahead and, oh well, you know what? I actually don't want to sign in with Google and do all that sort of stuff, but I'm not going to actually go, you know what, I'm not going to show you specifically how to use this plugin because I don't even know if you want this plugin, but just know that the way to get special functions and features onto your WordPress site is the plugins section. Okay, let's see, what else should we talk about? Oh, I know a thing, I know a good thing. Okay, right here under the settings section, this is actually probably one of the things you want to do first. It doesn't really matter when you do it, but you know, you might want to do it first. Right here under the general settings section, if you want to change the name of your blog or basically the summary, these are what appear when somebody searches for your blog in Google. For example, if somebody searched for your blog and found it, right now it would say my blog, and then right under that it would say my WordPress blog. So you kind of want to create something here that describes your site, maybe has some of your, I wouldn't say stuff it with keywords, but you know, it's kind of a relevant title. A title is a powerful thing in terms of searching. Sometimes you might just want the name of your site and keep it simple and don't worry about it. Typically that's what I do these days. So I might just call this one Dare Ventures. Right. And I teach about web stuff. Right. That might be my title and sample. If you ever want to change your administration email, you can do so right here. Date formatting and how you like that to be displayed. There's just sort of some general configuration stuff on this. Typically you won't really need to fuss with most of this. What your time zone is, if it's important to you to have a timestamp on your posts up to the hour, then you might want to set your time zone to be correct. Under more settings things, the next thing that's kind of good and important to look at is the permalinks section. So from here, what I like to do is actually select the post name option. It creates the nicest looking link, in my opinion. So you just basically have your name, and then you have the title of your post, which is also good for search engine optimization to have the name of your post in your actual URL. So I like to go ahead and select the post name option, but if you like the way something else looks better, you can do that too. Don't forget to save changes once you've done that. And as with most things, saving is good. Also, I did say we were going to talk about whether or not you want comments on your site or not. The way to do that is under settings to head on over to the discussion section. If you don't want people to be able to post comments, you just untick that one and save changes to that. Now, as you can see, that should, oops, no, wait, you know what I did? I changed the URL type, so I just got to refresh the page, and now that should work. There's the comment still. Is that because I'm logged in as an admin, or did I do something wrong? Maybe. Let me just see really quick. Okay, I believe the comment disabling is being overridden by the individual posts. So another way to disable comments from posts is basically just to edit the post itself, or edit all of your posts at once by clicking there and going to edit, and then you can just click apply and select do not allow on comments. I'm not entirely sure actually on that comments thing of whether or not how to disable it globally, just automatically. I don't know, I think most people like comments. I don't like comments that much. But let's move on to categories. Categories are right here. And you can actually create a category system for your blog. You might want to do that to help with organization. In order to create categories, it's right up here under posts, under categories. The default category is, of course, uncategorized. But you might want to create a category called something like, I don't know, things. Let's call our category things, because that's creative and clever. And I'm sure it's going to be full of interesting things one day. Never ever, actually, probably. But anyway, now I've got another category option right there. If I refresh my page, it should appear should appear. Okay, I think I needed to save, didn't I? Yep, I believe I did. I needed to do something. I don't know. Oh, come on. Oh, you know what? I bet you because it's empty. It doesn't appear when it's empty. That's why. So in order to make our post appear, we would want to then to make our category appear, we would want to put a post into it. So I'm just going to go and let's say edit this post here, another post, and then I can select a category for it right here. And I can put that into the things category. I'll take it out of uncategorized. You can have it in multiple categories if you want. It's really up to you. And so now this time we should actually see the category. Things. There we go. And somebody clicks things and they see all the different posts in the things category. In this case, there is only one. Are we missing anything? I think I need to hit the hay here. I'm starting to get a little bit brain fuzzy. So let's see if we're missing anything else of critical importance to kick you off on a Kickstarter sort of way on your happy blogging journey, as the case may be. I don't think so. I think that's probably a pretty good start. If you guys want to know anything else in particular, let me know in the comments of this video. I can put together some other videos that specifically answer other questions, but I think that's kind of the general gist of what sorts of things you'll need to do to get up and running with WordPress. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. I gotta go to bed. Catch y'all in the next one.